Hello, so welcome in this video about Cerberus testing. So today we'll share about GraphQL API test. So in the same way as we shared on REST API, we have a really key business trend and transformation around considering API critical to the strategy and the digitalization of companies. How they do them, and as we see in the below graph on the trends, is that companies have clearly decreased the use of SOAP and WSDL protocols over right now as rank number 1, so REST API, still increasing and still number 1, but we see that since 2015 we have a big emergence and steady emergence of GraphQL, which is why we'll share today on how to test this type of API. In fact, to test GraphQL API, we have the same issues as we have in other testing areas, so which are mainly linked to integration within the real system, so having applications that are changing a lot, and difficulties to integrate with test data environment. And then we have globally issues in terms of getting skilled resource and integrate and make them use the correct tools in our testing automation effort. So this is what we'll share today in the video, how you can automate efficiently. So first, a quick decrypting of what is GraphQL to be all at the same page. So we'll answer 3 questions here. The first one is, why do we need GraphQL and why REST is not sufficient? Is in fact, with the standard REST protocol, it's basically that it's too rigid and fixed for companies that have usually a lot of data. And so the objectives and aim of GraphQL is to really be centered on the data, meaning that you ask only what you need and you get that. You don't need to know the overall request response, for example, as you need to know in a REST. And you can also much more compose your data requests into a single request, something you cannot do in the majority of REST APIs. So, and why and when you would use GraphQL? So it's really linked to usually data consumption at scales when you are building rich user interface and you want to don't interact so vastly with a majority of backend services and teams. So GraphQL can give you a lot of flexibility with that. And as we see, as the spec was open source since 2015, this is where we start to show a growing adoption in the last graph. So, and what it is concretely? Well, it's still a standard protocol over HTTP, so you can do it by GET even if not really used, but the mainly verb used is POST, we'll see here in this video. And then you have standard particularities and properties of being querying data and large amounts, so you have compression, versionless, and also some patching and pagination mechanism. Okay, so today what we'll share is how you can use Cerberus to automate your test of your GraphQL API. So in terms of process, so we'll share in the solution how you configure the API call for you to reuse later on. We'll write the test case and with the step, action, and control in low code. We'll run the test in a specific environment, and then later on, I will share with you how you can, from a simple case, extrapolate and scale your testing effort to be integrated and avoid having the issues we saw in the last slide. So, in the example, I won't share a GET case because even if it's technically possible, it have really reached quickly limit and it's not really used, so we'll focus today on a POST example, but if you need, you can easily extrapolate to GET example. So, and in fact, what we'll share today, you can also apply it to a different type of testing. So it can be testing external API, available or not on a developer platform. You can also, as you use Cerberus, combine the call of GraphQL to do some other check in your front end, in your backend services, if you do, for example, web-based testing. And you can also implement different type of testing coverage, like end-to-end, functional integration, security. And today we'll share one case only. So let's get started. Okay, so in this example, we'll use this sandbox GraphQL API available on internet. So we'll start by checking quickly and briefly the documentation. So you see that you have an example queries, example of response we'll get, and other method available. So in our case, we'll start by using and doing the most simple case. So I will copy here the query, and I already know I'm expecting this result here. So if I go in a standard playground available, so You have here a standard view available, you have some docs. If you want to drill down a bit more on the data, you can query in your and set in your famous query. Okay, I'll just close that. So here I will pass what I have found in the tutorial, and it will call here my API here. We'll just hit the button here to verify it's working okay. And you may have seen that I have activated my network traffic to be able to get the request, and it's a bit more easier if you are not familiar with GraphQL queries to understand how the requests are being done and may probably use it inside Cerberus later on. You can speed up your implementation. So in the standard service implementation in Cerberus, the first thing to do will be to configure our API call. So you can do this by going to this part here. So I will create my API call. So I will start by copy here so it's a service, so it will be a standard GraphQL call. Okay, my application is already created, it's here, so and we'll do a post on this service path. And the next step here will be to specify the query we want to do. So this is what I will do here by doing a sample copy for sake of example. You can specify here, okay, your service request. Okay, you can specify other parameters here. For a simple call they are not needed, and Cerberus will handle for you all the other tag you need to use in your test. Okay, create here. So now I have a fresh test available here. I will just refresh to take into account the new services available, and I will implement the test that is expecting the specific ID returned and specified within the example. So I will create a brand new step. So create call the GraphQL API. Okay. I will just add a call service here. So you can use the action dedicated to this. Here you will have available the specific API you have configured and service, so we'll use the one we just configured, and I will add a control here, verify ID as expected, and you can use here this control, the element, because it will avoid you to define properties and it will be much more faster. So in our case we expect a 1 for the data post ID, so this is what I will specify here in the standard verification in JSON. Okay, just save my test. Now I can run it to verify if it's working fine. So I run it in an environment I have defined, so which is UK. I will take template robot. Okay, and I run my test. And we see it's working okay. And we can have a look. Here are some details about so here the response that we just expected, and this is what is parsed after on by the HTTP call. If we look here, we have the response where we pass the fields, and we see this is the field we check in the verification. We could have implemented other controls on other fields. And here we have all the details of the calls that have been generated by Cerberus. And you see you didn't have to specify any of that, it has been done for you. Okay, so now we'll share a bit more how you can scale and more complex cases just after. Okay, so we are back with our example, and now we want to do a case a bit more complex, which is to interact with GraphQL to create data in the backend. So here we'll go to create a post, and as you see the format is already a bit different as we have two parts. The first one being the mutation, and the second one the variables, to get in our case this result that we understand will be fixed for this sandbox environment. So I will start by copying the mutation, and I will pass this into the query environment here. I will then take the variables, and here it's specific to this GraphQL ID, you need to put it here. And again, I will activate the inspector tools to be able to get the request, but it's not mandatory. Okay, just verify it's working as expected. This is what we saw, and we'll be able to use it just after to implement the control. And now if you go here, you see that you have also access to how the HTTP call is in fact performed, and it's quite interesting. So in our case I will copy here the content of the message. So Here I have already created and reused the same API. I have already the service request here that we just saw as an I copy just before, so we can do exactly the same process here. In the same manner, those parts are not filled for this case. And I have also specified the test case that will call the API, so the one I just presented. It will verify the expected value, in our case that is hard-coded, and then it will verify the post is correctly the one returned. So I can rerun the test here to demonstrate it's working fine. Okay, and same as before, we find here the call made. We have also access to the requests that have been set, and we also can configure the response here. Okay, and now what we'll share is how you want to scale this type of testing. For example, let's say you have a different environment, a different set of test cases you implement. So this is what we'll share. So the first thing you can do leveraging Cerberus is that you can verify, for example, that your application is defined for a different environment. So this is what I will check here. For example, here the application is defined in different environment, and this is what is allowing me to really go and take the exact same test case that we were executing. I can just go here, and I can just here select UAT, for example, and I can also, if I want, run it in two environment, but I will run it in two, for example, here. So I run them with the exact same parameter as the one you saw previously. Okay, and the test are done correctly. So now next, what I will share is how you can variabilize the data for, let's say, in a different environment. Okay, so now we are back to our API, and let's say we would like to have some use case to implement, and we would like to variabilize the title parameter we are passing here and to verify different behavior in our API. And usually it is really useful when you have a big matrix to implement. So the first thing you need to do inside Cerberus is to go in the service definition and here specify the parameter you will want to variabilize. So this is the only thing you need to change in your service configuration. And now if you go to your test case definition, so you have nothing to do, especially in your call of the service. The only thing you need to change is here in your properties definition to define your property and the value you will want to use. And in fact, we can reuse this with the library and the data libraries that will be covered in another video to implement in a decoupled way your test case model and API template and all the data and control you want to variabilize. So here, just for sake of example, I will just rerun the test to verify it's working fine getting the parameter from the service, and as you see here, so the parameter have been replaced by the properties. And this is really something you can use to scale your API testing, so to ensure a good coverage of your API, of your use case, and also with low maintenance and easier maintenance than having what people tend to do is to hard code this without a page model or page template or API template. Okay, and one other feature you can also leverage with Cerberus is to monitor your API call over time, so either your performance or fluky test analysis. So this is detailed in another video, but as you see here, we have some strange case we need to investigate why, for example, on some cases, we have the double of time for successful execution. So that's all I wanted to share today on GraphQL API. So thanks you for watching and for your time, and stay tuned for the next video. Bye bye!